Whether you're a birder who hopes to visit Scotland or a native Scot who's just getting into birding, you'll want to make sure you're familiar with the most common birds that you'll see here. There are more than 30 common Scottish birds that birders will have a good chance to see every day in Scotland, so I'm going to share 11 of those species in this video. Let's get started. First up, we've got the common wood pigeon. These doves are absolutely everywhere in Scotland, and according to eBird data, they are the 4th most commonly reported bird species, regardless of time of year here. This species is very adaptable. They may be found in the middle of forests, or foraging on the ground in pastures. Common wood pigeons are quite large, dwarfing rock pigeons and drawing attention to themselves with their noisy flapping. Look for the massive size and white neck collars on these birds to help you distinguish them from other doves. It won't take long to find this species. Look for them in towns, parks, shelter belts, and fields. Listening for their low, raspy songs is another good way to locate common wood pigeons. The lovable pied wagtail, otherwise known as the white wagtail, is another common bird in Scotland. These tough little birds can be found here year-round as they frequent open areas like beaches, parking lots, and loch sides. Here, they walk along the ground and feed on invertebrates as they pump their long tails up and down. Pied wagtails are distinctive with their black throats, white faces, and gray bodies. Great tits are familiar songbirds found in a variety of Scottish gardens, parks, and forests. They are Scotland's largest tit species, and though they aren't quite as abundant as their blue tit relatives, they're a species that everyone should expect to see in Scotland. Beginning birders may struggle to differentiate these tiny birds from coal tits, but note the single white wing bar on great tits and the black stripe that extends down the stomach. Attracting great tits to your property is easy if you've got a few trees. Simply put up a bird feeder or install a birdhouse and there is a terrific chance that one of these little beauties will stop by. Oyster catchers are the most commonly observed of the many species of waders that can be found in Scotland. Birders can expect to encounter these lovely creatures during visits to lochs, beaches, and estuaries. Here, they're typically found in pairs or small groups, and they are very vocal, repeatedly making high-pitched peeping noises. Oyster catchers are distinct with their long orange bills, white underparts, and dark upperparts. House sparrows are a bird that every Scot has observed at some point in their lives. These small songbirds are sexually dimorphic, meaning males and females look different from one another. Females are drab in various shades of brown, while males have black throats and rufous napes. House sparrows are adaptable, thriving in both cities and rural areas that have hedgerows and places to nest such as tree cavities or birdhouses. They aren't nearly as abundant in the remote and wild reaches of the Highlands, but they still turn up in villages here. House sparrows are regular visitors to bird feeders, and overall, they're the 6th most frequently observed bird in Scotland, according to eBird. The grey heron is a species that will immediately stand out thanks to its enormous size. While they're hard to miss when they're flying around, grey herons are surprisingly easy to overlook when they're subtly stalking fish near shallow water. Any freshwater aquatic habitat can support this species, so look for grey herons along lochs, marshes, and ponds. Since they're the only dark heron species that regularly occurs in Scotland, identification of these birds is very simple. Eurasian jackdaws are a remarkably common sight in Scotland, being the 2nd most commonly observed bird, according to eBird data. These tiny crows are easily recognizable with their pale eyes and patches of silver feathers against their black plumage. Jackdaws may be found in just about any habitat in Scotland, save for dense patches of forest. They frequently perch atop stone structures, and they often forage by strutting along the ground in search of a meal. Mallard ducks are the most commonly observed ducks in Scotland, with a presence throughout the year in ponds, streams, lochs, and wetlands. Their adaptability is impressive, being equally likely to be encountered in the middle of Edinburgh or a remote loch in the Highlands. Male mallards are memorable with their green heads and yellow bills. Females are a bit trickier to identify, bearing a resemblance to other female waterfowl such as gadwall and green-winged teal. Note the blue patch on a female mallard's wing and the overall stout build of her bill. After the breeding season, mallards gather into sizable groups that allow them to easily detect predators as they forage in various freshwater ecosystems. Common blackbirds are adored in Scotland by those who enjoy spending time watching the birds in their gardens. These cheeky songbirds are sexually dimorphic, with the males being a glossy black color with yellow bills and eye rings. Common blackbirds have a lovely, melodic song that is a variable mix of notes and phrases that differs for each male. The optimal habitat for this species is semi-open areas with hedges or trees. Here, blackbirds can be seen foraging on the ground where they run a few paces before pausing and searching for bugs. Blackbirds are abundant from May through June, and though their numbers decline slightly from August to October as birds migrate, new migrants fill niches vacated by breeding birds that were present earlier in the year. Birders won't have a hard time finding this species. They are the 5th most regularly observed bird in all of Scotland. Gulls can be an intimidating group of birds for beginning birders, and Scotland certainly has its fair share of these controversial creatures. Common gulls, as their name implies, are not hard to locate in Scotland, though they are only the 4th most commonly observed gull in the land of the thistle. Still, birders are very likely to run into this species. Common gulls are rather nondescript. They are smaller than most gulls with yellow bills, plain white heads, gray wings, and dark eyes. This species is found in a wide array of habitats including lagoons, beaches, meadows, fields, and ponds. They are comparable in size to black-headed gulls and much smaller than herring gulls. The handsome European goldfinch is a delight when it shows up at bird feeders and gardens around Scotland. Males and females look identical with their pale bills, red faces, black napes, and yellow and black wings. With this unique combination of colors, European goldfinches are distinct in Scotland. They are versatile in their habitat requirements, choosing any open to semi-open habitat that allows them to forage on seeds. Although they have brilliant colors, they are tiny and can be easily overlooked. However, training yourself to identify and listen for their bubbling calls can help you to detect this species. That's all for this video. I hope you're now more comfortable with identifying these 11 common birds in Scotland. I would love to know, have you seen any of these species yourself? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to subscribe to the WorldWidebirder channel so you don't miss a part 2 to this video. This is Connor from WorldWidebirder, signing off.